Testing 1 2. What's up? What's up? My G's. My G's, Louise. All right. What's up, all my filmmaking gangsters? Yeah. All right. Stop making a fool of yourself, Josh. Get to work. Okay. All right. So today we are talking about the Insta 360 Go 2 and comparing it to the Insta 360 One X2. And you're probably wondering, why am I comparing two completely different cameras? Well, first of all, I have both of these cameras, and there's one particular camera that I use more than the other. And if you're thinking this holiday season, if you want to get one of these cameras, well, I think this video will help you make a good buying decision. First off, I want to talk about the build quality and the durability of both of these cameras. First of all, they're both built extremely well. However, one of them has protruding lenses, and that would be the One X2, simply because it's a 360 camera, and you're talking about two fisheye lenses, all right? At least I'm talking about them. And they protrude. Just look at that protrusion. Come on, focus, focus, protrude, protrude. There it is. Yeah, I mean, I've had to get this camera replaced and fixed because I dropped it and it completely scratched up the camera. Whereas on the One X2, we actually have a screw-on lens guard. You see that little lens guard? Come on, focus. Focus, for the love of... Okay, well, anyway, we got a lens guard on the Insta 360 Go 2. Next up is battery life. One X2 by far has a better battery life, and it doesn't have to depend on a charging case like on the Go 2. The Go 2 charging case will give it about 3 hours of runtime on its own. The camera will do about 20 to 30 minutes of runtime depending on how much the battery has aged. So there is no replaceable battery on the Go 2, but there is a replaceable battery on the One X2. So you can continuously swap out batteries, or you can power it off of a charging bank. Whereas this one, you don't really have that many choices when it comes down to powering this guy. However, you can hook it up via USB-C to a charging bank too, but you are stuck with that built-in battery, which will eventually age. Next up is usability, and what do I mean by usability? Well, how often would you be using the One X2 comparing it to the Insta360 Go 2? I honestly think I use this camera more than any other camera that I have, even my professional Sony a7S camera. This camera I literally take with me everywhere. Even if I'm not working, I still take this camera with me everywhere, along with that selfie stick, because since this is a 360 cam, you can literally get any angle you want without even trying. The Go 2 is a fixed angle lens, and it only focuses on one direction. However, it is very wide. One of the questions that you have to ask yourself before you buy either of these cameras is, what are you going to be using this camera for? Action sports? Then go for the Go 2. Are you going to be using it for a lot of BTS videos? Or if you just want a camera where you just don't want to, worry about? That's the X2. So yeah, I mean, you could rig this up on your gimbal, capture constant BTS without having to worry about the camera angle. But on the Go 2, I mean, you can literally put this thing anywhere. It comes with so many different mounts. You can mount it on a car, on your chest with a magnet. I mean, this is more for capturing those uptight, very abstract angles that you usually couldn't capture with any other camera. And this leads me down into talking about resolution. Resolution between these two cameras is completely different. If you want picture quality and resolution, go for the Go 2. We're talking about 2.5K when it comes down to the resolution. However, with the One X2, we're honestly talking about lower than 1080p resolution. And I know it says it's over 5K in 360 resolution, but the truth is that when you're actually choosing a specific camera angle, you're cutting out a piece of that resolution. So for example, if I decide to go and take a 360 file, which is in that 5K resolution, and decide to choose one camera angle, I mean, you're literally taking a piece of that cake and cutting it down. So you're really degrading the resolution when you're choosing those camera angles. So if resolution isn't a huge factor for you, then the One X2 literally can do whatever you want it to. And both of these cameras are waterproof. I would say my biggest issue with the One X2 is the lenses protruding, because once you scratch the lenses, that's it. You can really start seeing those scratches pick up on your footage, especially if you're shooting against very harsh light. And you just have to be extra careful with the One X2. Even though the build quality is very nice, the lenses scratch very easily. Next up, stabilization, and how easy is it to edit with both of these cameras? Well, both of these cameras do require the Insta360 Studio software. I made 2 different tutorials on that software, so make sure you check out those videos right up here. But that software is really easy to use. But regardless, both of these cameras, very easy to work with. It does take a little bit more time to work with the keyframing and choosing your angle with the 360 camera on the One X2. The Go 2 is a little bit easier since it's just one fixed angle, and you can choose your FOV or field of view. So you can crop in, zoom out, and that's the only thing that's going to take up a little bit of your time. But regardless, both of these cameras are very easy to work with, and the stabilization is fantastic. Now, during the last 6 to 8 months, I definitely saw myself picking up the One X2 a lot more, simply because I shoot a lot of, videos for Instagram, and I like to take this camera on my shoots and film a lot of that BTS, because this is exactly like having another camera person with you following you around without having to hire another person doing all that. And because the selfie stick basically is invisible with this camera, it's just a floating camera that follows you. So I love using the One X2 for those shots. So if I were in your shoes, which camera would I choose? One X2. I know that the next gen of this camera is going to have better resolution, and that's the only thing that I really want this camera to improve on. But when it comes down to versatility and where you can place this camera, and it's literally like having an extra camera person follow you around on set if you want that BTS. It is such a great camera to have and to use, just because you don't have to worry about it. Whereas this camera, I constantly want to check the app to make sure that the framing is good. So this is the camera that I would want to buy, and especially during this holiday season, Insta360 is having a bunch of different sales going on right now, so make sure you check out the links down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you have both of these cameras, which one do you use more? Let me know. Alright, I'll see you in another video. Peace. My G's Louise. Alright, what's up all my filmmaking gangsters?